I'm Aurora Fane.
So the pair of you decided my wife's ballroom was not good enough to raise money for your charity.
New details about The Gilded Age Season 3 are setting the stage for a fresh chapter in the HBO drama, complete with power struggles and messy relationships. Set to premiere in late 2025, the new season will pick up where Season 2 left off. If you remember, the finale strongly hinted that Bertha Russell had essentially promised her daughter Gladys to the Duke of Buckingham, just to secure his attendance at her big opera opening. Now that Bertha has climbed to the top of New York's high society, the show will dive even deeper into the shifting social landscape. According to HBO executive Francesca Orsi, things are about to get even more complicated. In a recent interview with Deadline, she teased that Season 3 will explore the rise of divorce during this era, as well as its connection to arranged marriages. She pointed out that back then, divorce wasn't just a personal matter, it had major social consequences. If a marriage didn't work out, how would society react? Would someone still be accepted in high society after a divorce? The Gilded Age has always focused on America's changing times, and Season 3 looks like it'll continue that trend. The show's second season took place in 1883, and while we don't know yet if there will be a time jump, it's clear that society is evolving fast. New money is rising, old traditions are being challenged, but divorce? That's still a major taboo. Orsi didn't drop any names, but when she mentioned arranged marriages, all signs point to Gladys Russell. Season 3 might pick up after her marriage to the Duke, only for her to seek a way out. She wasn't into him in Season 2, and being forced into marriage isn't likely to change that. Of course, another character could also take center stage in the divorce storyline, possibly from the new cast members being introduced. This could easily be the Gilded Age's most compelling season yet. The show has done an amazing job exploring the tension between old and new money, and diving into the social stigma of divorce feels like the perfect next step. If Gladys is at the heart of the drama, it could threaten Bertha's newfound power in New York, causing major tension within the Russell family. That alone is enough to make Season 3 a must-watch. Here's hoping it lives up to the hype. With so much drama already set up for Season 3, it's no surprise that the show's sprawling cast will be returning for more. Given that the series revolves around Marian, Agnes, the Russell family, and the rigid new money world they navigate, it's a safe bet that the Russells will be back at the center of things. But with society constantly shifting, it wouldn't be the Gilded Age without fresh faces entering the fray and shaking things up. And that's exactly what's happening. The show wasted no time adding new characters for Season 3, with Felicia Rashad set to play the wealthy and fiercely protective Mrs. Elizabeth Kirkland. Joining her are Brian Stokes Mitchell as her husband Frederick and Jordan Donica as Dr. William Kirkland, a yet-to-be-defined relative of Elizabeth's. Meanwhile, Victoria Clark will portray another high society woman, Joan Carlton, while Bill Camp steps into the role of real-life financial titan J.P. Morgan. Additionally, Lisa Gay Hamilton will play Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, a suffragist bringing another layer of social change into the story. The cast expanded even further in November 2024, adding Dylan Baker as Dr. Logan, a physician to the city's elite, and Kate Baldwin as Nancy Adams Bell, the sister of John Adams Bell. Meanwhile, Michael Cumpsty will play British aristocrat Lord Mildmay, and John Ellison Conley takes on the role of wealthy businessman Weston. The art world is also getting representation, with Bobby Staggart playing the celebrated American painter John Singer Sargent. Rounding out the new arrivals, Hannah Shealy will portray Mrs. Astor's adult daughter, Charlotte, a character who could further complicate the already intricate social web. With all these new characters, expect Season 3 to bring even more intrigue, power struggles, and societal shifts. While fresh blood will certainly add new layers to the story, The Gilded Age Season 3 is already primed for major upheaval following Season 2's finale. The biggest shakeup? Ada's unexpected inheritance. The newfound wealth won't just save the Brook family from financial woes, it will give Ada a level of influence she never had before. How she chooses to wield that power remains to be seen, but it could significantly alter the show's dynamic. Then there's the growing rift within the Russell family. The fallout between Gladys and Bertha could see the clan divided, with Gladys potentially defying her mother's carefully orchestrated plans. If Bertha's standing in New York's high society was hard-won, it could just as easily be jeopardized by family drama. And considering her ruthless climb to the top, any slip in status is bound to come with consequences. According to HBO executive Francesca Orsi, Season 3 is going to dive deep into the topic of divorce, a subject that was highly controversial in the late 19th century. Orsi teased that the new season will explore how divorce was introduced into society and, more importantly, how it affected women's reputations. As she put it, "I think broadly it's an interesting way in which we've explored that era of how divorce came to the forefront in United States relationships. I think that there's a conversation to be had about arranged marriages, and if it doesn't necessarily work, what divorce looks like in that time and what that bodes for society. And then whether you're accepted in society or not based on a divorce." That comment alone suggests that marriage and its potential unraveling will be at the heart of Season 3. And while Orsi didn't name any specific characters, it's hard not to think of Gladys Russell. After all, she was practically forced into an engagement with the Duke of Buckingham, and if that marriage does go forward, it's not hard to imagine her seeking an escape. If she does pursue a divorce, it could have a ripple effect, not just on her own life, but on her mother's carefully curated social position. Of course, it's possible that another character will take center stage in the divorce storyline. With so many new faces entering the picture, one of them could be involved in a scandalous split that challenges society's rigid expectations. Either way, Season 3 is set to tackle the shifting norms of the era, much like previous seasons explored the clash between old money and new wealth. Beyond just individual stories, Season 3 will continue to reflect the larger evolution of American society. The late 1800s were a time of rapid change, with social structures being redefined and long-held traditions coming under scrutiny. The rise of women's rights, the fight for racial and economic equality, and the changing rules of marriage and divorce were all shaping the world in ways that would eventually lead to the 20th century's major cultural shifts. And with the introduction of characters like suffragist Frances Ellen Watkins Harper, the show is clearly positioning itself to explore these wider movements in even greater depth. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.